Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Man, it's another beautiful day. I'm going to give y'all another MLB slate. You know, it's sports picks with Big Zay. We got a whole slate today, 16 games. I ain't going to waste y'all's time. I'm going to go ahead and get right in it. The first game, we got Rockies at the Padres. This is a doubleheader. You got Jose Urena against Yu Darvish. And, you know, both of these pitchers, you know, there isn't that much to explain. Yu Darvish on the mound is a way better pitcher than Jose Urena. You know, there's been a couple games that he surprised me, you know, throughout his career, throughout the season. But overall, you know, pitching against Yu Darvish, you know, I think Yu Darvish has the upper hand. You know, Rockies don't hit righties as nearly as good as they do lefties. You know, they still crush righties, but just, you know, they hit lefties just a slight better. And, you know, last time Jose Urena went against his Padres lineup, they lost 6-5. He had 6 innings played. He gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, you know, which ain't too bad. He did have a home run. You know, it ain't too bad, but it was enough for the win. They lost 6-5. And, you know, you look at his last 2 games, he's pitched 8 innings. He's gave up 14 hits and 12 earned runs. And that's just not going to get it done against a Padres team who's really good at home. You know, and Jose Urena has lost to everybody. The only team he's really beat this year is the Pirates. You know, he swept the Pirates. He's 3-0 against the Pirates, but he's 0 and, you know, whatever against everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Padres on the money line in game 1. It's not my favorite game, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Padres. Next game, we got Reds versus Marlins. We got Graham Ashcraft against Braxton Garrett. And, you know, yesterday I had the Reds, you know, and it pulled off. You know, that was a really good pick. And, you know, Graham Ashcraft, he isn't the best pitcher. He got a 4.64 ERA. But you look at his last time against the Marlins, he played 6 innings. He gave up 8 hits and only 3 earned runs. You know, just like Hunter Green last time he pitched against the Marlins, he gave up a lot of hits, but he gave up a couple earned runs. And you see what happened yesterday. He had a solid performance against a Marlins team that's just dealing with injuries. You know, I just don't see how they're going to be able to compete with the Reds offensively with another left hand on the mound. You know, the Reds hit lefties way better than they do righties. And even though last time Grant Ashcraft lost to the Marlins, last time they lost 7-6, you know, I feel like he pitches enough to to get it done here. But, you know, I think the best bet in this bet is I'm going to take the over 7.5. You know, I'm not going to take Marlins. I'm not going to take the Reds. I think the best bet is over 7.5. I think, you know, Graham Ashcraft, you know, if Marlon's going to score on anybody, I think it's him. You know, I think he's one of the weaker Reds pitchers, you know. And Braxton Garrett, you know, last time against this Reds team, they lost 5-3. So last time Braxton Garrett went up against this Reds team, he lost. And last time Graham Ashcraft went up with his Reds team, they lost. Ashcraft gave up 3 earned runs. Garrett gave up 5 earned runs. That's 8 runs just right there. So I think this thing is totals way too low. I'm going to go over 7.5 in the Marlins game. Now, Brewers, Corbin Burnes versus the Pirates. They got Bryce Wilson. And, you know, this game is just, I know a lot of people's going to take Corbin Burnes, you know, and he's a negative 267. Last time Corbin Burnes went against this Pirates team, they won 19-2. So I can see why you would take the Brewers right here, you know. And, you know, it's just a hard spot for me. I think this got upset written all over it. You know, the Pirates been losing. They're on a losing streak. I think like 7 games, 6 games, something like that, losing streak. And Corbin Burnes has pitched fairly well through a whole season. He's one of the top pitchers in the league. And I just think Pirates is hungry for a win right here. I think they're hungry for revenge. Losing 19-2 is not a pretty sight. You know, I'm going to take the Pirates plus 2.5. The Brewers is negative 267, so the plus 2.5, you still get fairly good money. You know, I think the Pirates keep it here close. Even if Brewers cover the run line, we're still good. We got the plus 2.5. I think that's the best bet for this day. I'm going to take Pirates plus 2.5. We got the Mets negative 1.5. That's the Mets versus the Nationals. I apologize. The Mets versus the Nationals. We got Jacob Degrom against Corey Abbott. And, you know, I went ahead and told you my pick. I'm going to take the Mets negative 1.5. You know, the Mets have owned the Nationals all year long. And I'm a little nervous about Jacob Degrom. You know, I do lean towards the over in this game. Even though the first time against the Nationals, he pitched a solid 7-8 innings. Only didn't give up no runs at all. He's really one of the best pitcher, if not the best pitcher in this league, but he's just been sitting out a long time. He's been on a 60-day sit out. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I don't know how it's going to look. I do hope that he looks like the old Jacob Degrom. I just don't know. I feel like the Mets is going to have confidence that he's back in the lineup. Going against Corey Abbott, who's got 11 games played in his whole career. Only 11 games. He's only played 21 innings and gave up 8 home runs in his whole career. I think he's just in a bad spot going against a Mets lineup that thrives with the home run ball. I'm going to take Mets -1.5, and I'm going to lean toward the over 8.5 in this game. Now, the next game, we got the Mariners at the Yankees. You got Logan Gilbert against Jameson Taillon. And the thing about it is, like I said last night, the Mariners do not hit righties as good as they do lefties. I backed up German. And you've seen the Yankees, the -1.5, the Yankees money line, both of them cashed, But this one, I think I'm gonna take the under 8.5. You see Logan Gilbert coming off where he pitched back-to-back against the Astros, and both times he gave 5-6 innings, and he only gave up 2 earned runs both times on the mound against the Astros team that's crushing righties just like the Yankees is, So, and Jameson Taillon, he had his very share of good times on the mound, and I've been very impressed with his second half of the season. Yankees is not too big favorites, but I like the Yankees money line. But as far as odds, I think the best odds and the best bet for this game will be take the under 8.5. You see, yesterday the over hit barely, and the over's been hitting for the Yankees. The over's been hitting, I think, 4 out of the last 5 games. The over's cash, so I think we're due for an under. We got 2 solid pitchers. I think they keep it close. I'm gonna take the under 8.5, and I'm gonna lean toward Yankees on the money line. Now the next game, we got the Diamondbacks versus the Guardians. We got Zach Gallen against Tristan McKenzie, and we got 2 solid pitchers and both these pitchers just got low ERAs. They limit the home run ball. They limit the walks, and you see what happened yesterday. The Arizona Diamondbacks played the Guardians yesterday, and it looked like it was going to be an under. They had the over and under at 9. It was 4-4, and it had to take extra innings for it to go over. And now the over went from 9 to 7.5. That's a 1.5 jump. Something seems fishy about that. I'm going to go ahead and take the under 7.5 in this game. I think Zach Gallen and Tristan McKenzie can keep it close. And although Guardians is crushing righties, Diamondbacks is crushing righties, they're playing at the Guardians, and at Guardians sometimes can be a hitter-friendly ballpark, but sometimes we've seen halfway through the season it's been a pitcher-friendly ballpark. The Guardians can't put up runs. They're real off and on. So against Zach Gallen, that limits home runs, limit walks, I feel like this could be an under 7.5. I don't like how that line jumped. I'm going to go ahead and take the under. I think that's the best bet for that game. Now, next game, we got the Blue Jays against the Tampa Bay Rays. We got Kevin Garza against Drew Rasmussen. And I've been really impressed with Drew Rasmussen on the mound. I've been impressed with Kevin Garza. 70% of his out, but the other 30%, I've been not impressed at all. And he's pitched 2 times against this Rays team, and both times he's lost. He's 0-2 against this Rays team. And Drew Rasmussen had pitched 2 times against this Blue Jays. And one time it was against Kevin Garza, which they covered the 1.5. And the second time he pitched, they won 11-5. Two big wins for the Rays. The offense backs Rasmussen up when he's on the mound. And although the Blue Jays are nice favorites, I'm going to take the Rays plus 1.5. I think that's the best bet in this game. Kevin Garza 0-2 against the Rays. Until he shows me otherwise, I got to back him up. I'm going to take the Rays on a plus 1.5, and that's my pick in that game. Now, the next game, you got the Phillies at the Braves. And you see the last time these teams played at the Braves, the Phillies won 2 out of 3, and I think this time I can see the Braves getting their revenge. I think the best bet in this game is the Braves -1.5. I know Spencer Strider's young, but I think he's gonna win the rookie of the year, if I'm not mistaken. In that conference, and the last time he's went up against this Phillies, he gave up 6. He pitched for 6 innings. He gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run. He only got 80 innings with 120 Ks. He's striking out batters left and right. And although he struggled a couple games in the back half of the season, you've seen some regression in his game. The Phillies got Nick Nelson on the mound, who is a guy that I cannot back. You know, he's only played 2 innings against his Braves lineup, and in the 2 innings, he gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs. He is a reliever. I can see the Phillies trying to go with a bullpen in this game. I don't see Nick Nelson, pitching too many innings against his Braves lineup. I got the Braves -1.5. I think they get their revenge. That's one of my better bets of the day. I actually really like the Braves today, but that's going to be my free pick in that game. And the next game, you got the Tigers versus the Twins. Tigers at the Twins. You got Matt Manning against Chris Archer. And, Matt Manning was pitching good at the beginning of the season, but then he got on the injured list. And, they took him out. They said he didn't look like himself. They said it was just something wrong with his shoulder, but they put him on a 60-day injured list. To just have a tweaked shoulder, and to sit out more than 2 months is a concern to me. I don't know how serious his injury was, And even though the Twins hit lefties way better than they do righties, they got Chris Archer on the mound, and he's played 2 games against this Tigers, and he's had 9 innings played. He's only gave up 6 hits in 9 innings and 2 earned runs. He's the more experienced pitcher. Matt Manning is a young pitcher, and I think he's in trouble here going against his Twins lineup. The Tigers does not hit righties like they do lefties neither. OPS in the last 30 days, the righties Tigers is way bottom, bottom percentile of the league. And I just think they're in a bad spot. I'm going to take the Twins -1.5. I think that's the best bet for this game. That's going to be my pick in that game. And you got the next game. You got the Cubs at the Cardinals. You got Keegan Thompson against Adam Wainwright. And, this Cubs team has been crushing lefties, and they've been crushing righties too. But, they do not hit righties as good as they do lefties. And Keegan Thompson is a real solid pitcher. But you see times when he's played teams like the Yankees, that hit righties really good. He gives up a lot of hits. He gives up a lot of runs. There's been a few games where they had to take him out early. His home run ball has been an issue. And he's got 5 innings played, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs in a 7-5 win last time against the Cardinals. But that was against Matthew Liberatore. Matthew Liberatore is a lefty. Cubs is crushing lefties. They won 7-5. And Keegan Thompson gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs to this Cardinals lineup. And he did that early in the game. So I think Cardinals' first 5 innings is the best bet for this game. I think Adam Wainwright shuts out the Cubs the time he's in it. As far as the Cardinals bullpen, they might put a lefty in. And I'm not, I do not want to see what happens then. I think they get the Keegan Thompson early. I'm going to take the Cardinals' first 5 innings, and that's going to be my free pick in that game. And you got the next game. We got the Baltimore Orioles against the Texas Rangers. And the Baltimore Orioles got their ace on the mound. They got Jordan Lyles. And the Rangers got Spencer Howard. And although against the Angels they won 2-0, the Angels is not hitting righties that good. They're not hitting lefties neither. Angels probably the worst team in baseball. So even though they won 2-0, I'm not impressed. Considering that the last game before that, the Rangers lost to the Astros 5-4, where Spencer Howard gave up 2 home runs to not the Astros, the Athletics. They lost 5-4 to the Athletics. And they gave up 2 home runs to an Athletics lineup that's been coming alive the second half of the season, but they have not been hitting righties as good as the Orioles. The Orioles is crushing righties, and with Jordan Lyles on the mound, I think Jordan Lyles, I was impressed his last 2 mounds, especially against the Yankees. I was really impressed. And the Rangers do not hit righties as nearly as the Yankees. I think the Lyles has a good outing here, and the Orioles is plus money, plus 105. My best bet for this game is Orioles plus 1.5, but I like the Orioles plus 105. I'm going to take the Orioles plus 105 myself just to try them out tomorrow and see how they do. I think that's a really good bet for this game. You're getting plus money and you can't beat that. Now, the next game, we got the Red Sox at the Astros. You got Cutter Crawford against Christian Javier. And the Astros, man, they upset me yesterday. I had a really good day yesterday. I had a 14 parlay, $100 paid $600. The Yankees, the Mets, the Reds, and the Astros, all 3 of them came. Just the Astros bailed me out at the end. They lost it for me. They didn't bail me out. I was hoping they would bail me out, but they didn't. So I'm going to try to come with something tomorrow, something a little better. But, here I just cannot back up Christian Javier. He's lost 3 of his last 4. And in 4 games, he's gave up 6 home runs. And you see that was a problem yesterday. Luis Garcia had limited the Red Sox offense, but, Duran hit a big two-run home run that put them on top, and the Red Sox never looked back. When the Astros have not been getting getting it done offensively lately. After that 11-1 win against the Mariners, the Astros have been struggling on the offensive side. And Cutter Crawford got a 4.15 ERA. But there's been times I like his last outing against the Guardians, and where he only gave up one earned run to this Guardians team. So I like the Red Sox chances here, even though they got a lot of injuries in the lineup. I'm taking a shot after seeing last night. I'm gonna take the Red Sox plus 1.5. I think a lot of people's backing the Astros, and I just can't back up Christian Javier until I see something different. I'm gonna take the Red Sox plus 1.5, and that's my pick in that game. Now the next game we got the Orioles at the White Sox, and we got Brad Keller against Lucas Giolito. And honestly, I thought Brad Keller was pitching yesterday, but he didn't. You see Daniel Lynch pinch, and they still got they cashed the 1.5, cashed the money line, like I said, even with him not on the mound. And Brad Keller's pitched good against this White Sox lineup. He's only gave up 4 earned runs in 2 games. And Lucas Giolito, last time against this Royals team, he lost 6-2. He gave up 7 hits and 2 earned runs. He pitched really well, but his bullpen let him down at the end. And this one, I'm going to take the Royals plus 1.5. I think Brad Keller keeps it close. I think Lucas Giolito can limit this Royals offense. I'm going to take the Royals plus 1.5, and I lean toward the under. I like both of them. I'll let y'all decide which one y'all personally like best, but I like both bets in this game equally. I like Royals plus 1.5, and I like the under, and that's going to be my picks in that game. Now, the next game, you got Athletics against the Angels. You got Cole Irvin against Noah Syndergaard. And although Noah Syndergaard, is a good pitcher, I just cannot back him, considering that his lineup with the Angels is the worst in baseball. And Athletics have came alive. You see them when they swept the Astros. They got one out. They snuck a game in with the White Sox. And the Angels just simply do not hit lefties. You see in the OPS in the last 30 days, they're .521 against lefties, which is last in the league. And that's not going to cut it, against the Athletics team that if you do let them put up runs, they will kill you. There's a time that, Cole Irvin has pitched really good this season, and the Angels just do not hit lefties. I like the Athletics plus 1.5. I think that's the best bet for this game. I think Athletics keep it close. Angels been struggling, and until they show me otherwise, I'm going to back them. I like Athletics plus 1.5, and that's my pick in this game. Now, the next game, we got Dodgers and the Giants. We got Tyler Anderson against Alex Wood. And, the Giants let me down yesterday. That was I only lost a couple games yesterday. It was a really solid day yesterday. But the Giants let me down. I was hoping that they could keep it close. And against Andrew Heaney, who Tyler Anderson is way, way better than Andrew Heaney, the Giants couldn't get any offense off him. The Dodgers offense is just killing. They're crushing lefties right now. And Tyler Anderson, last time against these Giants, the Dodgers won 4-0. It was a real reasonable win. He pitched extremely well. So I got to just take the Dodgers on the money line. The Giants is in a slump. They're just doing real bad. And until they get out that slump, I cannot back them up. I got to take the Dodgers on the money line. This is, and this is going to be my pick in this game. Next up, we got the Rockies and the Padres. This will be the last game. And before I get into it, I want y'all to know that, y'all can put y'all's baseball picks and y'all can put y'all's baseball picks in the comments as well. If y'all agree, y'all disagree, let me know what y'all think. I'll sit there and debate with y'all. I want to know y'all knowledge as well too. Put y'all's tickets down there. Let me know what kind of parlays y'all got. As a community, I want us to eat together. But this last game, it don't have no line, it don't have no pitcher, so I'm just going blindly in the dark. And I'm gonna just say that if the Padres have a lefty pitcher, I'm gonna go with the Rockies plus 1.5. If they have somebody like Blake Snell on the mound, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Rockies plus 1.5. The Rockies is crushing lefties, but if Padres has a righty like Joe Musgrove on the mound, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Padres on the money line. You see, Clevinger last night held the Rockies to a minimum, and the Padres is just a really good team at home, and the Rockies ain't hitting righties as good as lefties. So if the Padres got a lefty on the mound, I'm gonna take the Rockies plus 1.5. If the Padres got a righty on the mound, I'm gonna take the Padres money line. And, that's my whole MLB slate. That's all 16 games. This has been Sports Picks with Big Zay. I appreciate y'all, man. God bless everybody. I pray that everybody hit their bets. I hope that all these teams come through for us. I lost by one team yesterday, which, was kind of sickening, but it's all right. Hey, I'm going to come hit the books hard tomorrow. It's only the second day after month. Hey, let's hit the books hard, y'all. This has been Big Zay, and I'm out.